James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben. All the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben. All the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0.
All right, welcome in, guys. I think we are ready to go. Yep, we are good to go. Welcome to Load the Box Browns. My name is Chris Paxitas. That's Eric Mienko, as always. Guys, tough week last week against the Bengals. Tough week, tough loss. We told you the Bengals were hot, and they proved it. What I didn't expect was how bad Jamar Chase was going to actually burn us. I thought we've had him on lockdown nearly every time we played against him. So pretty much actually every single time except for last Sunday. So that was a little bit frustrating. But before we get into that, Mienko, how was your week?
Week was pretty good. Son's birthday was Sunday, which was obviously a very up and down day. We did celebrate on Saturday, thankfully, because it didn't totally ruin my mood. And then just kind of getting stuff ready for Christmas.
There you go. There you go. Short and simple. For me, it's all right. It's kind of an week. But we're just getting prepared for birth of my son, which brings me to say next week is going to be my last week on the show. Maybe not forever, obviously, but maybe, I don't want to say the rest of the season, but it could be. I don't know. He's getting induced next Friday, so I'm going to be kind of occupied. So Minka's going to hold down the fort while that happens. But, obviously it's not going to be the end of me forever, because I want to keep doing this because I love it. Love talking Browns, even though they break our heart every week. So let's just go into it. So number one thing I did appreciate about this game is that Stefanski did try to run the ball. He did try to run the ball, it looked like, but it was not working. Nick Chubb only had 34 yards out of 14 carries. Kareem Hunt had 6 yards off of 4 carries.
Yep.
That's not going to get it done. Offensive line is
trash.
For some reason, this offensive line is not good. And I'll point fingers at one position, possibly two. And the one I will say two, it's only due to injury, but center. Okay. Obviously, we had our plan. Our plans was to have what was his
Harris first?
Nick Harris. Nick Harris. Obviously, Nick Harris was the starter going in, but then God hates us and took him down on the second play of the preseason. And then Ethan Posick, can't do anything about that. It's just another injury.
They played well with him in there, but really it's center and then the right side. Jack Conklin looks like a shell of himself. He mainly looks like he needs to retire. Yeah. And then Wyatt Teller, he's just not having a good year, man.
No, he's
not. I don't know if he's injured or what it is, but he just, for some reason, he just seems to whiff a bunch.
Yep.
And I am a firm believer that Jed Wills and his lack of, he kind of has that, I don't know what happened. And then he gives up on a play. The guy gets by him. But at the same time, he does run block pretty well.
Yep.
When you see them have a successful play, a lot of times it's on that left side. And he's the one that's in front or sealing the edge. He does a good job of it.
Yep.
But for some reason, that right side is really struggling.
Yep. You're exactly right.
And Batonio's solid as they come. So he's not ever the problem.
No, he's never been the problem. And it's funny that we talked about Jack Conklin here, because I don't know, he probably senses the end is near. Because did you hear what he said?
Said he wanted to stay in Cleveland for the rest of his career.
Yep, he said it was Cleveland is his forever home, and he wants to be here till the end of his career. It's not going to surprise me if they let him go next year, considering James Hudson has looked good in his absence.
Okay.
It's not the James Hudson of last year.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if the Browns decide to move on. They only have, I think, less than $4 million in cap space next year, if memory serves correctly.
I think they have quite a bit that rolls over if they make the cuts that they probably will.
According to
overthecap.com,
Cleveland has $3.9 million in cap space available next year.
Yeah.
So they're going to be trimming trying to trim that salary cap as much as possible. So,
and they will.
Yeah. But, we'll see. You never know what the offseason holds. Maybe Conklin will take a pay cut to stay where he wants to be. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, they also turned his salary this year into a big bonus, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. He was 26 of 42, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Beyond the 1 interception, which was not a good throw, was not a good play.
Terrible throw.
Beyond that one, he's looked good. He looked a lot better this week compared to what he did against Houston. Do you agree with that?
It's a huge difference, but that interception was bad.
Oh, it was. It was very bad.
It was bad.
But the thing is, it's going to happen. This is going to happen this year. I mean,
here's the way I was after the game. I was very upset, and what I always do is trying to hold my tongue before I say anything stupid. I don't want to be that guy on freezing cold takes. It's not who I want to be. But with this, I took what, probably 2-3 hours, sat back and then watched some highlights of the game, and you could see the flashes. Like you could see that the greatness can be there. But the offensive line giving lookout blocks, the wide receivers not giving any ounce of space. When you get chances, you drop the ball. Like you can't do that. For a guy like that, with Watson the way he is, he's not one that likes to make mistakes. So he's going to play it safe most times. He's not going to throw those crazy balls, and that's what he did this game for the most part, except for the stupid interception. Like he's got there earlier. DPJ was so open. Yep.
And again, I think that's just going to come with time with him getting back into game rhythm. That will come with time. I'm not really concerned about Watson because we know what we got in him. We know exactly what kind of player he is. So I'm not concerned about him. Like I said, I think he looked a lot better last week than he did against Houston, nearly night and day. And I expect him to get better this week too.
Right.
I expect a big jump because there was a big jump from Houston to Cincinnati. And also, I think this is going to be his first time this year playing against a crowd that doesn't completely hate his guts.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested to see the crowd's response to him.
Yeah, same here.
To see what they like, how many people boo, how many people are cheering.
Yeah.
I would assume it'd probably be like 80-20, 70-30 as far as cheers versus boos. I mean, you're going to hear the boos.
Exactly.
Because obviously boos seem to some reason get a lot louder than cheers. But either way, I think he will get booed by some people, but I think he'll get cheered by most.
Yep.
And it looks like it's going to be a very cold game Sunday, like 32 degrees. It's not terrible, but cold and cloudy. Yep. So you're going to need the run game to figure it out.
Oh, exactly.
Watching some field breakdown, shout out to Jake Burns from OBR. He does a great job of breaking down film.
Oh,
and he's talked about it. Quincy talks about it. Both of them. They talked about how a lot more now they're running out of shotgun. And for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be working as well. And I don't know, if it's just that right side where you have center guard tackle where they're causing the problems or what it is. But just for some reason, it's like before Chubb had that lane. And now for some reason, they figured it out.
Yeah.
And we've got to not have that happen this week. They have got to figure it out. They've got to get back into rhythm again. There is no other option.
Oh, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. So I don't know. Like I said, I expect a big jump this week.
Absolutely.
I hope we can run the ball like I know we can, like we have done. I will say the Ravens look a little banged up this week.
Yeah.
Still no Lamar Jackson, which is a great sign for us. Right. Also want to shout out to Kyler Murray, get better. That did not look good. I don't know if you saw that injury.
I didn't see it, but I guess I'm happy, even though I lost still, that I didn't start him in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my team's terrible anyway. I'm not making the playoffs, but
I just missed out on the playoffs. I barely missed out.
I didn't even sniff it.
Wow.
I was last.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I got unlucky.
Yeah.
My team was, I had James Conner, who was supposed to be big off his big year last year, sucked. Jerry Jeudy, I thought was going to blow it up with Russell Wilson, sucked until this last game. If I put him in, I would have won. Who else? Dalvin Cook was up and down all year long. Jamar Chase got hurt. I mean, it's just every year for me. Unfortunately, I just got unlucky. People being up and down and injuries. But either way,
it happens.
Beside the point. But either way, we've got to get back on track. Have to.
No, you're right, and we know, like right now, I think I read the Browns have a 0.4% chance of making the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do I expect them to make the playoffs? No, I do not. I wasn't really expecting it this year anyway.
Right.
Obviously I had hopes.
Right.
But I didn't really expect it. I think what they're gearing towards is next year. Next year is going to be the year. I think they had to have known that as soon as we found out of how long Watson's suspension was going to be.
Yeah.
Once we figured out it was going to be 11 games, it's like, okay, more than likely this season is kind of going to be a wash.
Right.
So what we need to hit draft picks or, like what I said, we don't have a first round pick this year. We do have a second round. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So we got to hit on that second rounder, whether that's an offensive lineman, another wide receiver, or a fucking linebacker.
I don't think linebacker's a problem.
Well, this year it's a big problem. I know it's due to injuries, but still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's because of injury.
But it's worrisome to me. It's just it's a little.
You can't control. You had 3 of your starting linebackers go out.
No, I know that. You're right.
Even then, the linebackers weren't a problem this game.
Yeah.
You need D linemen more than you need linebackers.
Yeah.
You need a safety more than you need linebackers.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Grant Delpit, but he is just not.
They cannot put him in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a strong safety. You got him and John Johnson switching on who's playing free safety. He's just not a free safety. Yeah. You need a free safety. You need a center fielder, and he's not that.
Yeah.
So when you have a guy out of position, and you're expecting him to do things he's not used to, you're going to set him up to fail.
Yeah. And that's why I still hope they get rid of Joe Woods this year, because I think a new defensive coordinator, I think will help him out. Will help him out big time.
You need a D coordinator that will build this team around the defensive line.
Yep.
Around Myles Garrett.
Yep.
That's your strength.
Yep. Obviously.
You have to build it around that.
Yep. And you know, I'm definitely on that fire Joe Woods train because it doesn't matter what they do for the rest of the season. I don't care. Even last year, they were ranked a top 10 defense, but watching every game like we did, they didn't play like one. They might have been one. They might have been one on paper, but that's a little bit different. Sometimes numbers lie.
Absolutely. And one thing before we get into this Baltimore everything, I want to bring up a topic to you.
Yeah, please.
And we didn't talk about this before, so I want to get your opinion on it. I've seen this probably 3-4 times now. Seen a couple articles about it, and I've seen a couple people that I follow on Instagram talk about it. A lot of rumblings that if this year does not turn around, that Stefanski could be gone.
I've heard that too. What is my opinion? I am not ready to pull the plug just yet, personally. For a couple of reasons. Number one, the stability reason. Because I don't think anyone is going to want to be the head coach. I think it's going to be another one of those, oh shit, what are we going to do? Let's hire some random dude that, you know, that would take it because he's an idiot, aka
Freddie Kitchens?
No, not Freddie. Oh my God. It was before Q. You know who I'm talking about. Before Hugh Jackson was the head coach. He was Buffalo's defensive coordinator. Yep, Mike Pettin. Thank you. I feel like it'll be another Mike Pettin situation. You remember that year when the Browns were looking for a head coach and they got Mike Pettin. And you remember
he was the last option.
He was not on anybody's list, but we had no choice. I'm afraid that it's going to be like that again. Yeah, this team
I don't think they would wait that long.
But it's not that they even waited long then. It was the fact that everybody who was on their list was like, no, thank you.
Because they didn't have anything. They didn't have talent. They didn't have a bunch of draft picks. They didn't have anything. Think about this, okay? You have Deshaun Watson in his prime. You have Amari Cooper. You have a top 5 offensive line when healthy. You have Nick Chubb. You have Denzel Ward. You have MJ Emerson. You have Myles Garrett. You have pieces on this team in their prime.
Like, I know that.
This is not the Mike Pettin year.
I know that.
This is not when you're marching out Deshaun Kaiser as your starting quarterback. This is not that.
Well, I know that, and I wasn't comparing the teams.
Right.
Like I do know that this team has a lot more talent than that one there.
It's not even close.
You're right. It's just, I don't know. It's got me a little worried about that. And my last point is why I think we should keep Kevin is I'm hoping that the front office kind of sits him down and is like, listen, no more, like it's obvious that you need to take control of this team.
Yep.
So give up the play calling so you can focus on other things.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator's job or the defensive coordinator's job is to build the defense that the head coach wants, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Stefanski goes to Joe Woods and is just like, okay, go do it. Maybe it's time.
He's already said he did that.
Exactly. So there you go. Maybe it's time for him to get a little more hands-on, because that's what the good head coaches do.
Right.
That's what every good head coach does in this league. You don't think Andy Reid has a hand in everything that goes on with the Chiefs?
He still calls the plays for the most, and he just gave up play calling to Eric Bieniemy. He still doesn't give up all play calling to Eric Bieniemy.
I know that, but
and,
still.
And I think, honestly, to kind of piggyback off your point, though, I think a great option is if they keep Kevin, which I hope they do. I'll be honest. Maybe he gives up the play calling to AVP.
That's exactly what I want to happen.
This is Kevin sits him down and says, "Listen, I want you to run my offense. You know this offense in and out.
Yep.
Let me step back. You run the offense. I've trusted you. You've been in my system now for 3 years. This will be year 4. So you figure it out. We'll do this throughout the preseason. If it doesn't work, we can switch back.
Yep.
But we need I want to step back away from the offense.
Yeah.
I want to be able to coach the whole team.
Yep.
Yes, offense obviously is an offense-driven league. I will still primarily focus on the offense. But he needs to take a step back.
Yep.
He needs to be able to focus on more than just him.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, you even look at Bill Belichick. We all know Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded head coach. That's what he's been since he started coaching. You don't think he has a hand in that offense? You don't think so? Of course he does. We know that.
Right.
Everyone knows that. Every good head coach in this league has a hand in every single department on their team.
Right.
All the way from food and nutrition to how the fucking offense or defense runs.
Right. And really, the everyone's trying to be them, being the Chiefs, and why not?
Yep.
Why not hand over your play calling to your offensive coordinator? Just like Bieniemy. Bieniemy's in the system for, 5-6 years? It's time. Give it up, Kevin.
Yep.
It's clear that you need to focus on the whole team.
Yep.
You need to focus on everybody, not just the offense anymore. You're not an OC anymore.
Yep.
You're not a QB coach, not a tight end coach. I don't care.
Yep.
You need to focus on the whole team.
And
your offense coordinator needs to take care of the offense. Defense coordinator, defense. Special teams. It's not that hard.
And we also know that AVP can call a good game. Look what he did against Pittsburgh in that playoff game.
Right.
He called a great game.
And that's Kevin's offense.
Exactly. That's how it should be.
Yep.
That's how it should be. I also want to see Mike Prefer gone.
Oh, for sure.
I want to see him gone. Sorry, you're not good enough. It was okay before, but it's just not happening anymore.
And the DPJ touchdown did not save your job.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
Because you had a ginormous mistake this week with the roughing the punter. Idiotic mistake.
That was bad. That was
That was awful.
Yep. And okay. There is one question I have for you, and I think I know your answer. But I just want to bring it up just in case before we move on to Baltimore.
Sure.
The 4th down call with Brissett. What did you think of it?
I've gone back and forth on this one. I don't mind the call.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't put Jacoby in that position. It's a bad position to come in. He comes in cold off the bench to try and throw a deep go route, which he was open.
He was very open.
Was open.
Very open.
But you can't put him in that position.
I'm okay with the call still. I just think obviously you got to execute it. I mean, apparently everybody in the building was all for the call. AVP, I think it was one of those that they did practice throughout the week. So I mean, I'm gonna put that one on Brissett. It's one pass. Make the fucking pass. And that is also the issue that we did have with Brissett through the first 11 games, is that he's not been able to hit the deep ball very well. And it wasn't a super deep pass, but still, that's why. Yeah, that's why I was.
Good.
Let's say that's why I was okay with the call. You just got to execute. We've seen that time and time and again, even with Kevin's offense. Go back last year, like even you look at like what Baker was doing last year.
Right.
The plays on the field were called great. It's just you just got to fucking execute it. And that one, unfortunately, was not executed very well by Brissett. Everybody else did their job, but you got to execute that one. So I put that one on him 100%.
Agreed.
So there you go.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to this Baltimore game.
All right. So I've got the injury report ready to go. I'm going to run through this. So first up on the list, David Bell. It's got a thumb and toe injury. He did not practice Tuesday or Wednesday. Clowney rested. Also, he's kind of got an injury. He's got an ankle. Mari Cooper was resting, but he's kind of dealing with a hip. Frodeholt was full go with an ankle injury. Miles rested. AJ Green was full go with a toe. John Johnson was limited on Tuesday. He did not practice today with his knee. Njoku was limited with a knee. Denzel was limited with his shoulder. Chase Winovich was full go with a knee. And Joel Bitonio and Jack Conklin did not practice due to just rest.
Okay.
So moving on to Baltimore, Calais Campbell was resting the whole week. Tyler Huntley was limited on Tuesday, full go now with a concussion. Lamar, obviously we know he's not practicing and we don't expect to see him at all. I'm about 99.9% sure he will not play. Morgan Moses was limited with a knee, their offensive tackle. Marcus Peters was resting. Demarcus Robinson did not practice on Tuesday, but he was full go today with an illness. Ronnie Stanley was resting. Their punter Jordan Stout was limited with a knee. Kevin Zeitler was limited with a knee, and Justin Houston was also resting.
That's not really, the only big name there really is Lamar as far as not practicing.
Exactly.
Which is bad for us. And I guess the good thing and the bad thing is this. If obviously we don't expect Lamar to play.
Oh, we back?
We are. I can hear you now.
Okay, let me. Okay, yeah, we're back. I'm sorry. I gotta call Spectrum.
Thank you, Spectrum.
This has been happening way too often, so I gotta call them. So my fault.
Same time every night.
This is ridiculous. I'm back. This is ridiculous. Sorry. I can't hear.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Oh, I got a picture to send you after the show. Your face
Okay.
that it froze on was priceless.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, with you.
No, it is not. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Let's try this again.
Yeah, we'll try it again. But like I was saying, the big thing we didn't talk about, obviously with Lamar being out, it's good, but losing JOK for the year is a big blow to us.
Huge.
But then putting him on
Massive.
season-ending IR, he's been playing very well this year.
Yep.
So losing him for the year is a big blow to this defense. So not having Lamar out there and not having JOK makes this matchup a lot better for us than what it would have been if Lamar played and JOK was still out.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really is and has been a Lamar neutralizer. He's been such a good spy on this defense for Lamar.
Yep.
Because, he's one of a kind. So it's good to have somebody that we can kind of put up there to neutralize him, and he's done a pretty good job of that.
Yep, I agree.
But I think the other big thing is going to be how healthy is Amari. They don't really have any receivers, so I'm not too worried about Denzel. Even if he is out, I still trust Greg Newsome and MJ Emerson to go out there and hold down the fort. But they just don't really have any big injuries.
Yeah.
Especially guys that are not playing. Although I will say and I don't know that they will, but the quote from Humphreys, where he said we want to welcome in Deshaun Watson to the rivalry. Talking about, they want to hurt him, basically.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's not saying he didn't say anything bad, but I hope they use that as fuel.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Okay. So we'll go into some keys if you want to this game. On defense, I feel like I'm saying the same thing every week at this point, but it's honestly, this is my key for it. I'm going to say we need to confuse Tyler Huntley. Whether we can disguise blitzes in any way, something like that, maybe fake a blitz or whatever. I just want to confuse the hell out of him, because he's still, he started and he's played in a few games, but not a whole heck of a lot.
Right.
So
he's not an everyday starter.
Exactly. So I want to try to confuse him on with our defense and hope that maybe he makes a mistake and goes from there. So
right.
That's a key for me on defense.
I think mine's very similar to yours, but mine is make him throw the ball.
Yep.
Stop the run.
Yep.
Take away the run and make him throw the ball. I trust, well, I don't really know if I really do, but I would trust our corners to cover their wide receivers a lot more than I cover our run defense to stop their run.
Exactly. And my God, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Against the Bengals game, and I forgot to mention this before, missed tackles. So add that to that's another key. Can we fucking wrap up? Can we not miss a tackle? J.K. Dobbins is going to make you pay. He will make you pay if you do not wrap him up. Stop. Quit going for the big hit and just wrap him up. For the love of God. That's what Joe Mixon did. Joe Mixon broke a bunch of tackles last week.
So did somebody at P. Ryan. The one on the touchdown was absolutely an abomination.
Yep.
But I will say the hit from Denzel Ward to Jamar Chase made up for a lot of that.
That was good. I like that.
That was the
you
play
got barbecue sauce
State.
back there.
Exactly. You got barbecue back there. You didn't invite me.
Hurt my feelings.
That's just a classic call. But anyway,
that's exactly what I thought when I saw that play.
Me too, especially when his helmet popped off.
Yeah.
But I think that's the big key for me is stopping the run. You got to make Tyler Huntley throw the ball. You don't trust his arm more than you do his legs in that running game. So you got to stop the run.
Yep.
And I think for the offense, I just want to see progress. I don't need anything specific from this game because, listen, like you said earlier, we're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
0.4, there's just such a low % chance we make the playoffs.
Yep.
Almost every team in front of us has a tiebreaker against us. It's almost impossible.
Yep.
So with that being said, I just want to see progress from this team.
Yep.
I want to see the offense look better. I want to see Watson take a step forward. I want to see the run game get back on track. I want to see Njoku take that extra step forward. Shout out to DPJ, hit 100 yards last game. He is really progressing as our number 2.
Yes, he is.
Want to see Amari Cooper look like himself again. I just want to see a solid offensive performance. Show me progress. You showed it from Houston game to this game. Now show me from this game to the Baltimore game that you can take that extra step. Because if not, then we're just going to start losing hope. And I think it's absolutely absurd that I've heard 3 big pundits this week say that they think the Browns are regretting their decision to trade for Deshaun Watson. How? You have 2 games.
Yeah. That literally people saying that just to get clicks on their article.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is. If you honestly think that, you're crazy. I even saw that on, like, I'm in a part of a couple of Browns Facebook groups, and they were like, "Oh, I thought Watson was going to fix it all. Now look at him." And I'm like, "Are you stupid? Are you stupid?" This is 2 games. Like, this is why I don't like social media, man.
It's instant gratification. It's the instant reaction. Either everything's really good or everything's really bad. There's nothing in between. That's why I said earlier, I like to take a minute before I release some kind of stupid take like that.
Yep.
I'm not going to tweet right off the bat. You know?
Yep.
I like to let things come to me. Okay, how do I really feel? Analyze the situation. I'm just not going to start just typing away. I don't care if I'm first. Let's be honest. I don't care. I never am first. So I'd rather take my time and have an educated take on what I truly think, and that I will stand behind.
Yep. But bottom line is, man, we got 4 games to go.
Yep.
We like you said, I want to see something. I want to see something out of this team. Something. Show me some life. Before we get into our picks for this week, I do want to, there is some roster news. Obviously, you touched on JOK going on injured reserve for the year. With a foot injury, we did sign Jermaine Carter Jr. from the practice squad to replace him. He's done a lot of special team stuff. He's been kind of in and out for a while now, so there's a good chance that he'll probably get some playing time this week.
Sure.
So that's just one thing of roster news I wanted to bring up before we moved on. So there you go.
So all right, well, let's go ahead and hop into these picks.
Yeah.
So last week was a tale of 2 pickers. You had a very bad week.
Yeah, I know. I
had a very good week. Every single game that we had difference of opinions on, I got correct. So I have now officially taken the lead because we had 4 differences. I was down by 2. Now your boy is up by 2. I have 81. You have 79.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So going into this week, I have already made all my picks.
Okay.
So we'll see how this goes. So the first game we have, which is tomorrow night's game, could be a very good game. We have the red hot San Francisco 49ers led by Brock Purdy traveling to the Seattle Seahawks. I took the 49ers.
As will I. Did you see on that touchdown pass that Brock Purdy threw to Christian McCaffrey after they confirmed? Okay, it was a beautiful pass, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? Right. Shout out to him being Mr. Irrelevant in the draft and doing what he did against Tom Brady.
Yep.
But
did you see the Skip and Shannon conversation about Tom Brady?
I did not. I heard a lot about that. I meant to look it up.
You need to go watch that conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
Let's just say, if I was Shannon, I would have been throwing right hooks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay.
I would not have shown up for work the next day.
Okay. Well,
anyway.
With Brock Purdy, after he threw that touchdown, they confirmed that it was a touchdown. The camera panned to his family who were sitting in the stands, and his dad just would welled up with tears. And it was just, it was a good moment. So good for Brock Purdy. I'm rooting for you this week.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. And speaking of that Niners game, did you see Debo do the Allen Iverson? Step right over the cameraman. He apologized for it today, but he just literally stepped right over, like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, come through." He said, "No, he said, oh, let me scooch past you there."
Pulled the old Midwestern trick.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
All right. Next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, I'm gonna pick the Vikings, but man, they have not looked good. They are falling off a cliff.
They hit that MCDC team. They hit that brick
Yes,
wall.
they did. Yes, they did. I just think the Colts are a lot worse than the Vikings.
Oh, they're terrible. They're so bad.
And I told you. I told you.
No, I thought that they'd be a lot better because their roster looks a lot better on paper, but we don't play on paper.
No, we don't.
All right. So next we have the Miami Dolphins, who have cooled down a lot, going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are also very cool right now. I went with the Bills because I trust Josh Allen more than I trust Tua.
We'll go Miami.
Ooh. Is there a reason, or you just want to be different?
It's a divisional game. You just never know in those division games.
Sure. Yeah, I think 'cause it's at Buffalo. That's why I went with Buffalo. And Miami smoked, beat them in Miami. It smoked them. It was a very close game. But that was the cramp game,
oh, shit,
as they call it.
That's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo.
Fuck.
So, yeah.
I can't. You know what? I can't. I already said it. I can't change my pick.
That's
so
right. That's right.
We'll go with it. We'll go with it. I'm supporting it.
All right. I'm not even saying Kansas City. Cool. Got it. They're playing Houston. I don't think you're gonna pick Houston.
Hey, Houston almost had it against Dallas.
You taking Houston?
No, hell no.
All right.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
Next, we have the almost beaten by Houston Dallas Cowboys traveling to Jacksonville, coming off of a win.
I'm going to take Dallas, but Jacksonville's hot right now.
They're playing very good football, but it's still Dallas needs it more.
Yep.
All right. Next game, we have the best team in the league, Philadelphia Eagles, traveling to Chicago, coming off the bye. I'm definitely going with the Eagles.
So am I.
Okay. All right. This one is a very bizarre game. I don't know how to look at this. I don't know if you've seen this. So, we have the Falcons traveling to the Saints. The Falcons this week benched Marcus Mariota for Desmond Ridder. Marcus Mariota is now away from the team with what they can describe as a chronic knee issue. That man got benched and said, I'm out. Taking my ball and going home. I'm going with the Falcons only because that Saints team is abysmal. Both teams are pretty bad.
I'm going to go with the Falcons too. I don't want to though.
I don't really want to go with either one.
I don't want to go. Yeah, but I don't. I mean, this is Desmond Ridder's first game. I'm going with the Falcons. Going with the Falcons.
It may give them some juice, I think, is the big thing.
Yeah.
I think it might give that offense some juice and get them better than being able to throw 7 passes in one game like they did against us. That's just crazy to me. Your quarterback throws 7 passes. But, all right, so I went with Atlanta as well, if I didn't already say it. Next game, we have Detroit traveling to the Jets. This is an interesting one.
I have bet against my man all year.
Dang it.
Not anymore. Give me MCDC.
I had it down. I just don't know if I can do that now. I don't want to be the same.
Come on, do it. Do it.
I don't want them to lose. Every time I bet against them, they win. Nah, MCDC. Give it. Let's go, baby. All right. This game, I think this game's gonna suck. Pittsburgh traveling to Carolina. Although Carolina did just come off a very nice win against Seattle. I went with Carolina in this one.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
Okay.
They played well enough to win last week.
They played the terrible Baltimore team, though.
I know, but Carolina's not very good either.
Is Pickett playing?
I don't know.
I don't know that he's.
I don't know.
He back at practice?
I don't know.
Let's see. He is. I can't see anything. Okay, he is practicing today, so he should be playing then.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Now we have the inmate game of the week. The Arizona Cardinals traveling to Mile High to face the Denver Broncos.
Oh, I'm taking Cardinals.
Ooh, going with old Colt McCoy, huh?
Speaking of Colt McCoy, did you see what he said
No, I didn't.
after football? He was talking about his career after football.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I haven't decided what I'm going to do after football. Maybe I'll go into coaching. Maybe I'll run for governor in Texas.
Huh.
You know,
He might win it. Who knows?
You know, he's still got some fans in Texas.
Oh, heck yeah, he does. As being when he played at Texas, hell yeah, he does.
So don't be surprised.
I got 4 words for you.
Oh no.
Broncos country. Let's ride. I'm going Denver.
Okay.
I don't know that I could trust the Cardinals without Kyler Murray. They played well. They played decent Monday night. But,
yeah, I with Colt McCoy, full week of practice. We've seen what he can do with a full week of practice.
And what he can't do.
Well, be that as it may. I'm still riding with him. I'm riding with him for this week, or at least for this week.
Yeah. All right. This game is another interesting one. It has a lot of playoff implications. You have the New England Patriots traveling to Vegas. I went with New England because if they win, they still have a good chance. If they lose, those chances really start dwindling.
Yeah, I'm going with New England as well. I agree with you.
It's just hard to trust
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr.
Yep.
This, I hope, is a better game than what I think it is. But it is the Bengals traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah. I think that could very well be a blowout.
Yeah.
I just don't think that Tampa Bay has anyone to cover Jamar Chase. I think it's going to be a huge game for him. All right. Next game. This very well could be the game of the week. You have the Tennessee Titans traveling to the LA Chargers.
It's going to be a good game, but I'm taking the Chargers.
You. That's who I have. All right. Next game, you have the New York Giants coming off that loss to the Eagles, getting smoked, going to Washington to play the Commies, coming off of a bye week. I went with Washington here.
As will I.
A little Taylor Heineke magic. All right. Now we have Monday Night Foosball. We have the L.A. Baker Mayfield-led Rams traveling to the frozen tundra.
Taking Green Bay. Here's the thing. You know what? Good for Baker coming in and doing that. Like that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I will give him I will give him credit where credit is due. That was a great throw to win the game.
That was insane.
But
that whole drive.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole drive?
I did.
I watched. That was insane. There's a reason why everyone's going crazy, and he deserved it. I mean, that was coming off 2 days and don't know the offense. Like that was wild.
I'm absolutely happy for him. That's awesome. But it ain't gonna last. I don't think.
Hey, listen. Like I told a friend of mine on Facebook, she's a big Rams fan. I said, listen, he gave you your one big game.
That's the same friend I have, by the way.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, he'll give you one big game.
Yep.
He'll probably give you one additional, and then it's all downhill from there. And I think, give me 17 to lead the charge, baby.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are not playing well. They do not look good. And I don't know, just something about the way that him and McVay work together. Yep. He may have found that little bit of magic that he always shows at the end of the year.
Yep.
So, and then obviously the last game of the week is our game. I know who you're picking. I don't know what I want to do with this game. I really don't know what I want to do. In my heart, it tells me we have a very good chance to win this game. My brain says every time you get your hopes up, this team immediately puts you in the dirt, this year specifically.
Yep.
Logic says with Tyler Huntley, this team has already beat you once. It probably won't happen again. For that reason, at home, with the home crowd, special game, Saturday night, 4 p.m., I'm going with the Browns.
There you go. And there you go.
There we have it, folks.
All right. Well, guys, that has been that's Load the Box for you. So it's been a good show. We're gonna see you next week for my final show of the season, more than likely. We'll let you know on Twitter about when I'm gonna be returning back. So, but we'll go in more into that next week. But till then, hopefully we're coming back here next week with a Browns dub. But we'll catch you later. I'm Chris Paxitas. That's Eric Mienko, and we'll see you next week. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Hoo, hoo.